at 2 o'clock in the morning, I had to go and find my dog in the house because she was not in her dog bed. I couldn't find her. And what I realized was I had given her a bone earlier in the day, a beautiful brand new bone from the butcher. She was completely obsessed with it. And she had been chewing that bone for like 8 hours. And it was 2 o'clock in the morning. And she was still so fixated on that bone that she was not going to go to bed. She was going to stay up all night chewing that bone. I had to take the bone away from her, lure her upstairs to her dog bed, hide the bone so that the poor thing could rest. And you know what I thought? I thought, darling, that's her name, darling, darling girl, I feel ya. Because I'm having the exact same thing going on. I started watching this series called Baby Reindeer, and it is absolutely phenomenal. It interrupted my whole life. I too was up till 2 o'clock in the morning, like darling, completely obsessed with something. And that's even why I realized she wasn't around, because I had just finished watching it and I thought, where's the dog? I need to go find the dog. Anyhow, I was like a dog with a bone with this series. It is absolutely jaw-dropping, astonishing, a complete work of art. It's by a writer, producer, director named Richard Gadd, and it's about his experience in the mid 2000s working as a bartender and a comedian, not very good comedian, and a woman at the bar started coming in, got obsessed with him, and stalked him. That's actually like the big picture, but there's something else going on in the film that has a gravitational pull. It is incredible. And it mirrored some of my own personal experiences. And what I was absolutely astonished by it was when he's talking about the relationship between abuse and sexual abuse and obsession and being exploited and preyed upon. He doesn't do it in these very binary terms like here's the villain and here's the victim. And having been a victim of sexual abuse and abuse in my life, it isn't as simple as victim and villain, because often the people who are being abused deeply love intimate figures in their life who are abusing them. And so it's not as simple as victim and villain. But that is what just struck me about it. It felt like the most honest, complicated portrayal of the relational dynamics that go on in situations that aren't as clear cut as victim and villain, even when they are as clear cut as victim and villain. Anyways, this is the most brilliant masterpiece of a series, not even from the lens of being authentic and accurate portrayals of those dynamics, but from an art perspective. The way he unflinchingly grapples with shame and pain and self-loathing, and at the same time, it's darkly funny. It is just incredible. I could not stop watching it. And I've had so many conversations with people. I'm totally obsessed. It is just a milestone of a work of art. I encourage you to watch it. And even the parts that were really tough for me to watch, they were just like unflinching and brutal, but not sensational, like not trying to be tawdry. They were just true. And so the reason I'm talking about this is, yes, go watch it, right? I'm totally obsessed. But I then went and looked up a bunch of interviews and articles with Richard Gadd, the creator of this, because this is his real story. It's based on a true story. And I was like, how do you translate your personal pain into such a massive work of art? Like what's the magic ingredient there? And he said that he first wrote the story in a much more simple way of like, here's the abuser, here's the victim. And it never felt true, and it felt trite to him. And so he had to go back to the drawing board and tell the messy truth of it. And that, I think, is the ingredient for everything. Not dialing it down, not simplifying, and bringing the whole messy truth to it, because that we recognize, and that is art. And I just wanted to share that. That was my epiphany, and my takeaway from this was we often are grappling with the idea that we need to present things in a way that people can digest it or they've encountered it before. But again, that's playing to the middle. And I've said in another video, we don't play to the middle because the only thing in the middle is roadkill, right? We actually have to stay in the truth of the work, in our unique, bold perspective, and the truths that we see from our experience, and create work from that. And that kind of realism and that truth is where art and culture making live. So anyways, that's what this series, and then reading behind the scenes of how he created this just landmark of a series. It's a complete work of art. That's the magic ingredient. Being able to accurately present our truths, our bold perspectives, our insights and epiphanies without trying to put it into a trope or put it into a way that people have encountered it before. We got to actually just be the center, be the truth, be the mess. That's what culture making is.